Hello, this is Michael Kreider for Android Police here at Mobile World Congress 2014. And what we have here is the Samsung Galaxy S5, the big kahuna. Definitely the biggest mobile hardware story to come out of this show. So this is the very much anticipated and certainly to sell quite a few units. This is the new phone that Samsung's going to have, so let's take a look through it. So compared to the Galaxy S4, the old flagship that they have, the front looks very similar, as you can probably tell. In terms of the hardware, we're only looking at the hardware right now. The screen has extended to 5.1 inches, but it's still that 1080p Super AMOLED panel that Samsung is very well known for. So you have a 1920 by 1080 resolution, and it does get quite bright. Let's go ahead and look at our brightness feature here. You're probably going to see it wash out a little as it does get extremely bright. But Samsung is also talking about how it gets extremely dim if you need it to. So here it is almost completely off in our video. You can just barely tell things going up there. So that is a nice feature for it to have. On the front you can see, here we have our earpiece. We've got the camera here, 2.1 megapixels on the front. Probably a detection thing there. And we've got our basic home screen buttons, the same configuration that Samsung has been using forever. So let's open up our apps and we go back with one tap. The capacitive buttons have been changed up just a little bit. Instead of a menu button, we get a recents button. Recent apps just like Google intended, as it were, but it is on the opposite side that you would expect it to be on. And we have our back button over here. One interesting thing about this recents button here, one tap will give you that. If you tap and hold, you get a menu. So you have a hard press menu here, a new option to replace the one that they used to have. So elsewhere on the phone, this is bigger, taller, wider, and thicker than the Galaxy S4 in all dimensions. But the reason that we think they've done that, and the reason that it is just slightly bigger, aside from the fact that it's a bigger screen, is that the Galaxy S5 is waterproof. It has an ingress protection rating of 6.7, which means it should be able to handle a light dunking in a pool or a tub for up to 30 minutes, I believe is the rating. And it will protect against a certain amount of dust and dirt. And you can see, to help with that, we have this covering their charging and data port. Let's see if I can flip it open here. It is pretty difficult. It's giving me some trouble. All right, there we go. See, it's got the similar USB 3.0 port, I believe, that they had on the Galaxy Note 3. And you cover it up to make sure it's protected. All right. Looking on the back of the phone, this is the biggest visual change from the Galaxy S4. You can see it has this dimpled pattern, and there is a bit of a sort of a almost rubbery coating on the back of it. Makes it a little easier to grip. It doesn't slip around quite as much as that glossy plastic. This is a divisive design change. Some people like it, some people don't. Personally, I'm kind of ambivalent. I think it's better than the faux leather that they've been doing for some of their phones and tablets, but it's just not especially better or worse for me. I think it does improve the grip a little bit, and that's nice. But visually, it's just sort of, not better, not worse. Here we have the new 16 megapixel camera sitting on the back of it. Should be able to give you some sharper, maybe some brighter photos. Here's the flash module beneath it, and right next to the flash module is a new heart rate indicator. This is what's called a, they're calling it the, what's their official term? I can't remember. But anyway, it detects your heartbeat for the S Health app, and there it is. All you've got to do is hold it there, and it will give you an active readout. Taking off the cover, we've got a little tab here that we can pop off. You can see the seal here, and this is what helps to keep it waterproof. Just like on the Galaxy S4 Active, it's got this rubberized seal that's going to protect some of the vital components and the battery. Here is your SIM card slot, and that is a nano SIM, so it's the smaller one that's familiar on the iPhone 5 and on a lot of the new Motorola hardware. And it's hard to tell, but right above that SIM card slot is your micro SD card slot, so it'll sit right on top of it. You still need to pop this battery off to get to it, but it's still there. Lots of people really love that. The battery is 2,800 milliamp hours, which is considerably bigger. I'd say it's about 10% bigger than the one on the Galaxy S4. It is this really weird shape, very strange for Samsung, so it's a brand new shape. You'll need to get new swappable batteries if you like that for it. Inside the phone, it has a new Snapdragon 801 processor from Qualcomm. That's going to be the global LTE model that you'll see different variations on for America. And they will have Exynos models at some point, but for the initial run, it's going to be all Qualcomm hardware. Other hardware points, it's got 2 gigabytes of RAM. We were kind of expecting it to go a full 3 gigabytes to match the Note 3, but no, it's just 2 gigabytes. And you have a storage option of 16 gigabytes or 32 gigabytes. You've got all the standard LTE stuff, new LTE 4 for it. You've got MIMO on the Wi-Fi, so it should be considerably faster, assuming that your local hardware is compatible with MIMO. As far as the layout, we have our power button here, volume buttons here, pretty standard Samsung stuff. They are very small, kind of tough to see on this plastic bezel. And that's about it. The back here that we have is sort of a black gray, and they will have blue, a sort of a golden copper color, and white as well for launch. And it is scheduled for launch on April 11th for the worldwide market, including the US, all the major carriers. And we don't know pricing information just yet, but we expect that it will be in line with the previous Samsung hardware. The other new feature that they're really excited about is the fingerprint reader. And it's hard for us to get exactly to the fingerprint reader, but we do think that is pretty much introduced to match the fingerprint reader on the iPhone 5S. But it isn't a hold and tap. You've actually got to slide it down. And it's different, it's kind of awkward. We'll explore that in one of our other videos. So, that is the Samsung Galaxy S5. We're expecting it on April 11th for the worldwide market, and we're very interested to see how it performs. I'm Michael Kreider for Android Police. Thank you very much for watching.